Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about winterizing your boat. I've got a 50 horse 2-cycle marine engine on my Bass Tracker bass boat, and there's a lot of different ways that you can go about winterizing one of those. I talked to the folks down at Tracker Marine years back when I bought that boat, and they told me that the simplest and easiest way to get that thing ready for the winter is two things. Number one, you got to take the fish finder off of it. It's not supposed to see temperatures down in the single digits. It'll hurt the screen. And secondly, you run fuel stabilizer in the fuel. If you put the right mix of a good fuel stabilizer in the fuel and then run that motor for a little bit to get it up inside the motor, get it all up in your fuel lines, get it up inside the combustion chamber on the engine, then you won't have any problems in the spring when you go to restart it. Now, I generally run this stuff all year, but I'm going to show it to you today because it's time to mix up a fresh batch. And what I'm going to do is, yes, I'm going to treat the fuel that goes in my motor, in my boat, but I'm also going to treat the fuel cans that I have in my shed for all the other equipment that I have out here. So as I'm running leaf blowers and chainsaws and mowers and things throughout the fall, it'll have fuel treated for wintertime running through it. So whenever I shut the stuff off, it's ready for storage as soon as you turn it off. That's the beauty of running fuel stabilizer. Now this is the one that I like to use, Sta-Bil. You can get it at Walmart. This was like $8. It treats 80 gallons. That's probably more than I'm going to need. And this is the one that was recommended. There's others, take your pick, but get a good quality fuel stabilizer. And later, if I can find a link to it, I'll put it down in the description so you can just click on it and get it if you want, or just go to Walmart and buy it, whatever you do. So let's go out to the barn and we'll get busy treating the boat for the winter. Okay, so reading the instructions here, 1 ounce of this treats 2.5 gallons of fuel. So we're going to go ahead and put 2 ounces of this in the tank and then add 5 gallons of fresh ethanol-free premium gasoline. Another thing I like about these, it's got a measuring device right on it. There it goes. That's one. That's 2 ounces. Now we'll give it 5 gallons of fresh gas, ethanol-free premium gasoline. Put the Sta-Bil in there first, then put the gasoline in, and you don't have to worry about mixing it up. I've been doing this every year since I got this boat. It's a 2008, so I've had it for about 10 years now, and I've never had any problems. It always starts right up in the springtime. I had to talk the guys at Tracker into finally putting new spark plugs in it. But even then, they said they still look good, and I just got them to replace them to humor me. We had been using this boat quite a bit. Last year, I got it ready to go out right about spring turkey season. I just knew we were going to use it all year. Sport Lake, 14 miles away. I got busy and just didn't go fishing. I feel so bad. We're not going to do that next year. But we still got to winterize the boat. All right, there we go. 5 gallons of fresh gas, Sta-Bil fuel stabilizer. Now we're going to hook the muffs up and get a hose over to it, because that's how this thing cools, with water flowing through the cooling system. Then I'll start it up and I can let it run right here in my barn for a few minutes and get all that fuel worked up into it. We got fuel stabilizer worked into the fuel system. Let the motor run for a little while, get it all up in there in the combustion chamber and whatnot. And the last thing we got to remember to do, and don't skip this guys, it'll cost you a fish finder. You got to take your fish finder off for the winter. It can't see single digits. The screens don't survive it. I just take a sandwich bag and a rubber band to cover the connector. Keeps it dry. There, now it's ready. Well, there you have it. We got fuel stabilizer in our fuel cans and up in the boat motor and in the boat tank. And we let the engine run for a little while to get the treated fuel up into the system and into the combustion chamber. And then we remembered to take the fish finder off and put a plastic bag over the connector. And we'll take that fish finder, I'll either put it in the shop or take it in the house. The important thing is that the screen not be allowed to see single digit temperatures. They say that'll ruin it. I'd never let it happen. And because of that, I've never had to buy a fish finder, but I've heard about people that have. So there you go. Winterizing my boat is just that easy. I don't know about your boat. Ask your manufacturer, but that's how it goes with mine. And anyways, I hope you got something out of that video. Feel free to ask me any questions or make comments below. Hit like if you got something out of it. Subscribe and share if you feel inclined. Ring the bell if you want to be notified about the next one. And thanks for watching Home in the Sticks. We'll see you next time.